My name is Rachel, and I'm a summer associate.
I'm Bennett Proctor. I'm a summer associate with Canary Law.
My name is Jerry Rodriguez. I'm a first-year associate with the firm.
Tiring, but really interesting. It's a fascinating education. It's not really like anything else.
Well, that's a tough question because it really depends on whether or not you're the first in your family to go to law school, or you have extended family who are attorneys, or your parents are attorneys.
Being a student in law school is exciting. It's a vigorous experience, but it's also rewarding because you have to push yourself to keep studying, but at the end it's all worth it because you open up your options to join whatever field you may want to join.
I was the first in my family to go to law school, the first in my family to go to college, so a lot of law school was figuring things out for myself and trying to find my way around the school, figuring out how to finance going to law school and stuff like that. Yeah, so summer associate programs are really the first chance that a law student has to really apply the things that we learn in law school to the real world.
You get to get experience as a practicing attorney while still having the guidance of more senior attorneys. And you also get to see if you're a good fit for the type of law you think you may want to practice.
In law school, you learn how to write, but it's very abstract. The cases are all kind of hypothetical, and they're designed to sort of perfectly fit with the law.
Law school is all about reading cases, and the application of those cases or the rules of law don't really happen until you have an internship or a summer associate program.
When you work at a law firm, you learn that your client cases are never that straightforward usually, and they present a much more sort of real challenge. You're dealing with someone's actual life. It just sort of changes the experience.
I actually found out about it through a family friend who knew Abdul. She said she exercised with him every day and that he was a great guy, and she got me in touch with him. And Abdul was very receptive and offered me a position with the team.
The HR manager, Maria, just came to the law school and she set up an on-campus interview. So I met with her and she explained the process, and that was where I did my first interview.
This program was posted on my career services website. Not like individually, but there was an email blast saying, hey, we've updated it. There's a few jobs that some of you might be interested in. Take a look, and if you're interested, apply. I checked it out, and this one was on there. And immigration was something that I was interested in, so I decided to give it a shot.
Yeah, so you start your first week, you do about 6 days of just a crash course in what Canary Law is like, what the associate program is like, and also what immigration law is.
And then right after that, it's straight to work. You get your first assignment probably the first day. Probably don't have to start working on it until the second, but it's probably due the third or the fourth, so it's a pretty quick process.
You get good training programs that explain the type of law you'll be working with, and you get a great deal of autonomy to really dive into the law and do your best to help the attorneys here.
Because a lot of people like myself come in with I hadn't taken a class in immigration, so they sort of go through all the different types of applications that you do, each of the, what the law is, how to put everything together. Everybody in the firm comes in and does sort of a presentation on what their job is, how the whole office functions.
The cases are really interesting because you get a client and you get their whole profile. You get all the documents about their life and their story, their declaration. You take that and you get to synthesize it into a full summary of their life and why they deserve to be in this country. And it's really rewarding work.
Each case is different. It really depends. It could be anywhere from something simple like a motion to reopen, which was my first assignment that I got when I returned this year, or it could be something as complicated as asylum and refugees.
So I've mostly done asylum cases, so that means that they're people that have suffered a lot in their home country and maybe also suffered a lot to get to the United States. So the stories are really kind of crazy and really, really interesting, but just they're very intense stories.
So it really varies depending on what's going on with the individual facts of the case, but it's wide-ranging, definitely.
Probably just the amount that I've learned about this area of law since I came in with no experience and no real knowledge of it.
My favorite part is getting to work directly with the clients, getting to interview them, and getting to follow a case from start to finish.
It's definitely the experience that you get right off the bat. Like I said, day one you come in, they've got a list of assignments for you, aside from all the orientation process and giving you a little bit of background about what the firm is and what they do and how they operate. It's right into the water after that. Go in, get your feet wet, and experience immigration law firsthand. Well, it would be to be serious about doing this job.
You should apply to Canary Law because here you'll get the experience that you're looking for.
You have to be a real sort of problem solver and self-starter, both in the interview process and then when you get here, they'll ask you pretty directly, how would you deal with a situation like, this, and it's important for you to be able to kind of figure things out and be able to, figure out enough information so that you can ask the appropriate questions.
As long as you come into this summer associate program knowing that you're going to have to put in 100% effort like you did in law school, like it's not an opportunity to just sit back and relax.
You'll get to write memos and better your writing skills, and at the same time get real work experience that you won't get in the classroom.
So just be ready to work, take it seriously, commit wholeheartedly. That's number one, I think.